What's up, everybody? It's your host, Jaden for Illini Daily. And today's formula is just a little strategy, a little game plan that I hope the Illini are listening. I know I'm not saying this is a legit strategy they should have or even a strategy that they are going to do, but this is just my idea that I think the Illinois team should do in order to beat Michigan this weekend. First off, like I said, this is just an idea. This is just my idea. So if you guys disagree, agree, like the idea, let me know. Comment down below, like the video. Just let me know. First off, we need to stop Michigan getting easy 2-pointers. So I think we should just use a zone defense. They're very efficient against man defense. They've been doing this really, really well, even against a team they lost to in Duke. Duke had a struggle of just guarding them straight up man defense. The only reason why I think Duke truly beat Michigan was that the fact they couldn't really hit any 3-pointers. Yaxel Landenborg, he was just dominating the entire game, and he likes to get inside and just score from within. The entire team likes to do that. Johnson Jr., the other forward, he does a similar type of style, and even their center, A.D. Mora, all guys who score very easily in the inside. And they don't really struggle against zone defense, but it ruins their efficiency by tenfold. Doing some research and seeing what strategies other teams do. They usually hit Michigan with a 2-3, which is where teams really screw up on, and they can't really match their size. Versus us, I feel like we can definitely match their size, if not be a little taller. We can also just speed them up on defense using Boswell. I feel like Boswell is going to be the key piece for the zone defense. We can definitely put him at the point. If we run a 3-2, putting Boswell can definitely screw up their point guards. It can also screw up their 3-pointers, definitely by rushing them. He does a great job of using his hands and just making everybody feel pressure. So I feel like Boswell will be a key point, a part of this defense. And another person I feel like is going to play a key part is I feel like we should let Mirkovic play more of a point forward against Michigan. Um, his ability of using his very Jokic style of play. What I mean by that, he's a way more better athlete than Jokic, but how he sees the floor and how he slows down the tempo of the game, it's very Jokic-like, and I feel like he does a great job of doing that. He's also a great ball handler, even though he doesn't use a lot of moves. He knows how to keep the ball away from defenders, and I feel like he's going to be a great strategic piece towards this game. Also, if Yaxel guards him, Yaxel and him are probably going to go back and forth. So Yaxel is going to be worried about trying to block him because Yaxel is more of a blocker than a stealer. So I feel like he's going to try to give him more lanes to the paint so he can get blocks on him. But I feel like Mirkovic is quick enough and quick-witted enough to pass the ball off to our shooters and scorers, so we can avoid that type of solution. And putting Mirkovic as a point forward or a point guard more. Gives more opportunities to Stavakovic, Boswell, and Wagler, and even Tomislav. This is going to open up the floor for them because Mirkovic is going to bring defenders in while he drives and while he dumps it away. This also gives Wagler more room to not be as pressured as much bringing the ball up the floor. It also gives Wagler more the ability to just, hey, you just need to score because I don't think their point guards are going to be able to, or any of their guards are going to be able to keep up with Wagler. Even Boswell, sorry. Even Boswell, I feel like his speed and his athleticism is going to be very tough for a lot of teams. And I feel like Stavakovic's volume shooting is going to also be very hard because he gets easily inside the paint regardless of who's defending against him. So I feel like those guys are going to have a really good time if Mirkovic is holding up the ball. And Mirkovic and Tomislav's connection and chemistry is very well done while he's a point guard. I think he gives him the ball like majority of his assists. So this is a great way for Tomislav to get really heated up against Mara, who I don't think is a better center than him. I also think Tomislav is a way better shooter, so that's going to give him more of an open floor in the perimeter. So this is just a great advantage for us to use, and I feel like it's just a great idea to have because this just brings more opportunities for everybody, especially Helmerkus and Jake Davis, who are just pure shooters. So I think this would be a great strategy to have. My next point that I do want to talk about, and I feel like that should be an obvious choice, um, we should start the Ivisic twins, Big Z and Tomislav. I feel like if we start both of them, it's going to give our defensive presence way higher, especially if we want to stop them from shooting easy twos. Their size and their ability to just shoot and play offensively is going to be a great advantage for us. And I feel like this is just a better idea towards what we want to do against Michigan. I think stopping them from scoring from within and using our size advantage is going to be a great idea to have. And I just feel like we definitely should start them. And their chemistry off of each other is just really well versed. And if we do a 3-2 defense and have them stay in the paint, I don't feel like Michigan's going to have a great strategy towards stopping that. Obviously, Michigan's still going to get their buckets, but I feel like it's going to slow them down offensively and make them like feel the pressure and speed up. Um, and what I mean by slow down offensively, I mean like they're not going to score as many points, and speed up, I mean like they're going to cause more turnovers. Doing this also creates a wide variety of shooting and disadvantages for Michigan because Z and Tomislav can both shoot threes. Being at both 7 feet tall, if they get that mismatch, especially in the perimeter, they'll just shoot over the guy and not worry about him, which is a great thing for us to have. It also will get scoring off the bench with Humberkus, Jake Davis, and Stavakovic. Them coming off the bench would be a disadvantage for Michigan's bench because Michigan's bench is not as well versed as our bench, especially with Stavakovic coming off the bench now. Yeah, I just feel like this is a great strategy, and I feel like this is the game plan we should do. I hope Coach Brad Underwood is listening to me. I know this is just coming from a fan perspective, not from a real coach perspective, but I feel like this is the strategy to do for this game. I feel like it's just going to stop from Michigan just beating us from easy 2 pointers. And they're a fast break team, so I feel like if we have that size out there, we can stop that from even happening, especially with our getting back our old hustle, and we can out rebound them if we just do this size advantage thing. I feel like this strategy is just the best way to go. Um, I hope you guys like this idea. I hope Coach Brad Underwood thinks of this because Michigan is just right now one of the best teams in college basketball. They lost to a really, really good Duke team, and even then, I feel like Michigan should have won. I think their shooting was just a little off that day. So the fact that they still lost to Duke is just showing a limelight to how we need to take advantage of this day because we're definitely a way better offensive team. I think the only advantage Michigan has over us is definitely their defensive presence. They're top 3 in blocks. But if we use this tall strategy, maybe that takes that away, and maybe it just takes the idea of just them scoring from easy buckets. But I hope you guys just agree with me because I feel like this is just a tough game. I don't know what type of strategy Coach Brad Underwood's going to do. I don't know what his big ideas are because Michigan's such a tough opponent. Being top 3 in almost every single category is just a scary thought to have. While we have just been struggling for the past couple of games, maybe he can just slow the offensive down so we can get easier buckets and he's telling everybody to work on their 3 pointers this week so that way we can make more and score more. I also just hope Illinois just takes their time and just not worry about the score as much. I feel like we've been trying to match teams when they're beating us offensively instead of just worrying about us, which causes us to have a lot of turnovers. So I feel like this is just a week where we can truly prove to everybody for March Madness and the Big Ten tournament that we can compete with anybody and that we are going to beat anybody. So I hope this is just a great idea. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.